Back on Sports Bit, Paulie and Teddy. Time for the deep dive. Every Monday we recap the weekend from college football. Let's start with bad beats. Kansas State was laying 6 against Iowa State. They were up 31-10 in the fourth quarter, and the Cyclones get the money, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, the Cyclones got 2 touchdowns and a safety. The safety was actually the key, but at the same time, they dropped a wide-open touchdown pass. They had 4 shots from like the 1-yard line and had another wide-open TD pass that was just thrown really poorly, so cost them a couple TDs. It's certainly a bad beat if you had K-State. You're up 3 scores in the fourth, but that's the way K-State plays, man. You're going to get occasionally those type of beats with Bill Snyder's Wildcats.
Yes, there was another horrific beat, but we'll tie it in a bad for the books in a second. Bad bets, Texas Tech, TCU over. Bet all the way up to 87 from 84.5. Teddy, it never had a chance. It still went to double OT. You weren't even close to cashing that ticket.
And I'm honestly wondering if this is a record, because this got bet up to 87, and it was tied 17-17 at the end of regulation. Has a game ever finished under by 53 points in regulation before?
Good point.
I don't know. I certainly can't think of one. The commentators were noting that Gary Patterson closely studied West Virginia's defensive game plan against the Texas Tech spread offense, and they executed that game plan extremely well.
Hey, well, what are you doing, Louisville? You're supposed to be the number one-loss team out there. You need style points. You were bet up from heavy steam, 25.5 to 32.5. They were losing with a minute left against Virginia. They're lucky they won.
Yeah, you can't cover 32.5 when you only score 32, but Lamar Jackson gets his Heisman moment. Cardinal backers do not share his joy.
Arizona over Stanford. I mean, I don't understand this here. This was plenty of Arizona money here. Never had a shot, and they got both quarterbacks back. McCaffrey played well. Stanford actually showed a pulse on offense.
Yeah, I mean, the money on Arizona, +7 to +4. Ton of money betting against Stanford. It's Arizona off a bye. It's Arizona with their top 2 quarterbacks and Dawkins and Solomon back, and yet they got nothing. They got absolutely nothing. Stanford's defense, the MVP in that game, and the book certainly enjoyed that result.
More bad bets. How about Ohio State over Northwestern? Ohio State bet all the way up to 26. They win by 4 points. Northwestern has really turned it around.
Yeah, you can't cover 26 when you only score 24. Bettors, love Urban Meyer off a loss. The thought process, Ohio State needs to build up style points for the committee. They never had control of the game, let alone style points. And, of course, didn't even score enough to cover the spread.
Yep, I don't have a problem with what Fitzgerald did. He was catching some heat on Twitter. 4th and goal from the 15. Couple minutes left. 3 timeouts. He kicked the field goal. They had 1st and goal from the 3 and got pushed backwards. And then here we go. I mean, Boise State had their moment. They were on television. They were trying to go undefeated. Big favorites. Money came in on the Broncos. They lose, get beat on a safety. 30-28. What a job Bowles doing with Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean, and when he got hired, they were saying, watch out for this team in Laramie in a couple of years. And Laramie, all of a sudden, a tough place to play once again. Tons of Boise money bet from -12 to -14.5. They lose the game in straight-up fashion following that Brett Ripien sack/fumble/safety.
How about some more SEC bullshit? Kentucky now in 2nd place in the SEC East. They beat Missouri.
Yeah. And the game wasn't even as close as the final score. There was a ton of Missouri money, -4.5 to -7.5. Missouri was down 35-7 before a couple of late backdoor touchdowns. What did we say last week, Paulie? We said take the under on Barry Odom's tenure with the Tigers and the Wildcats. Yeah, now 4-2 in conference, 3 straight SEC W's, and 1 win from bowl eligibility. Mark Stoops not ready to have a fork stuck in him just yet.
Yeah, and Harbaugh took it easy here. Michigan had the big lead, rivalry game. Michigan State battled back, hung tough, and Michigan survives by 9.
Sure, but the books made out like bandits on this one. Wolverines bet from -19 to -24.5. And I mean, it was a 30-3 run after Sparty's first touchdown, but Michigan did not keep the pedal to the metal in the fourth quarter. And certainly didn't do their backers any favors.
Games of the year here in Las Vegas that were released in the summer. Michigan State was favored in that game. Oh, man. All right, bad for the books. Oh, man. South Florida, Friday night, beat Navy 52-45. They had a big lead late. Navy went touchdown, and then they drove the length of the field throwing the ball and scored on the final play of the game. Because it happened on the final play. They don't kick the extra point, it lands 7.
Oh, yeah, and remember, this game opened -9. It closed -6. lands right in between because of that the touchdown coming on the last play of the game. That never a good result for the house. No, sir.
Wild one there. There was a 6-figure bet at William Hill, plus 7.5. The guy had Navy. My God, Christmas came early there. Another bad. Penn State over Purdue. Rout.
Yeah, I mean, it was 17-17 at halftime. You know, I mean, Penn State got a ton of money in that game, a minus 11.5 up to minus 14.5. Outscored Purdue 62-7 in the second half. Purdue, a complete no-show since Hazel got fired. And there's been heavy anti-Purdue money in every game. It's likely to continue moving forward. So if you want to fade the Boilermakers, do it early in the week, not late. You'll get 4 more chances to do so in Big Ten play.
Bad for the books continues. A big move on the Maryland-Indiana total, bet from 51.5 to 55. It fell 78. How about that? And Auburn,
not real close.
Auburn keeps rolling. They get beat Ole Miss on the road.
Hoosiers, you know, Auburn's killing teams right now. I mean, they're on a major surge. Injuries have wrecked Ole Miss. Auburn now 5-0 straight up and ATS last 5. And let's not sleep on this team. If Auburn beats Bama in the Iron Bowl, they're live for a national title. So just something to think about down the line.
And for the 4th straight game, Louisiana Tech and over tickets cashed. Market's underrating this club.
Yeah, La Tech and over. When it happens 1 week, all right. 2 weeks, all right. Now that it's 4 weeks in a row, expect a significant adjustment once again this week from the markets.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.